Well, welcome back to another edition of 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse Summer. Sleaze continues with a little 73 potboiler called Frankie and Johnny Were Lovers, starring the inimitable Rene Bond. And Renee is a singer in this one, and she opens up warbling a song which Janis Joplin had no reason to wonder if she was going to be replaced. She's a singer, and she's also worth $30K. Her boyfriend Johnny is a computer nerd and a race car enthusiast and wants a piece of that $30K. A lot of this film is in flashbacks because Renee is, let's go. Frankie is tormenting Johnny as he works by flashing a little beaver and playing with herself, and then eventually we get into a softcore sex scene over a desk. She's wearing a real long brown wig. Matter of fact, she's wearing 3 or 4 wigs in this film, and she has this really caked on eye makeup which really takes away from her natural attractiveness. But I digress. It seems that Johnny had a fling with Alice, a friend of Frankie's, played by Cindy Summers, another porn girl. And this is all soft. This is basically all softcore stuff, although you do get to see Rick Lutz, who played Johnny's weenie, hanging out at one point. Film gets bloody, too, because Frankie's ex-husband catches her with Johnny, and his name is Roy, and he basically beats Johnny to a bloody pulp on the stairs in Frankie's apartment, and then leaves. And then, for whatever reason, Johnny drags Frankie out of the shower, beating her bloody, too. So it all climaxes when Johnny's car breaks down and he's picked up by Alice in this barely running Plymouth Belvedere. Remember Plymouth Belvederes? Sure you don't. I worked on enough of the shitbag cars, I mean. So anyway, they are caught red-handed bowling in some shack by Frankie and her whole band. Frankie gets pissed off and takes off in her sports car and is followed by Johnny in the barely running Plymouth Belvedere, which he basically runs off a cliff chasing Frankie. It crashes, he's thrown clear, and the whole band is standing over Johnny's broken body as the film ends. Renee and Rick were a couple. They were married. They must have split up at one point. Renee passed away early. I think she was like 45 and she had cirrhosis of the liver. And Rick passed away at age 67. Renee was one of the most recognizable faces in early 70s porn. I remember when I was dealing loops, you would basically see her and John Holmes featured prominently on boxes because they sold. Renee also used to run ads in the back of men's magazines if you wanted to buy her used panties through the mail. I guess today that would be considered a biohazard, but back then in the 70s, anything went. And probably if she was selling them today, the demand would be so high that every 10 minutes she'd have to throw on a pair, run around the block to get them sweaty, throw them in an envelope, and mail them out. But anyway, that's our show for today. Thanks for subscribing, thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you on the flip side.